This is going to be a short video to show you how to do the task for landscapes and alibis. In this task, you are going to be looking at a series of alibis of different people who have been all over New York with alibis of where they are. And you're going to use the reference table to find where those people went, and then we're going to see if we can figure out somebody who we think is responsible for committing a crime. If you want to see the location of that crime, you can head back to your tracker. But this task is really about just filling out this one line of this, and I'll talk to you about it as we go. So for every single one of your suspects, they'll have said somewhere in New York that they've been. We're going to use a sample suspect to make our moves here. So our sample suspect said, "This whole thing is just so crazy. My cousins and I were up in Plattsburgh doing some work up at Lake Champlain. It's part of our yearly trip as a family. We had just spent the whole day fishing before we headed back home. I couldn't really understand you accusing me. I even have a smallmouth bass in the freezer to prove it." What we're going to be doing here is using that information to fill out basically this whole line about this specific suspect, including where they were, what landscape types they encountered. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to be jumping back and forth between this particular alibi and some of the reference tables. You'll see. The first thing I'm going to do is just try to find something that I think is interesting about the suspect. I thought was kind of interesting that he said it was part of a yearly trip up as a family. All I'm going to do is just highlight that so I can keep track of that. The next thing I'm going to do is see if there's any place he mentions in New York that can help give me a location that he's at. As we see here, this person went to Plattsburgh. Plattsburgh is a city in New York. And what I'm going to do to find that, there are a couple of different pages. They said they went to mountains or specific areas. You'll be looking at this page, which is page 10. Page 9 has a bunch of locations of cities, which can be easy to look through here. Or if they say some other area, you can look around here, which also has the same cities on it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look around for Plattsburgh on my energy and mineral resources on page 9. Plattsburgh, there's Plattsburgh, 28. I'll look around a little bit. It's 20, 25, 28. There's 28. Plattsburgh is right up here. This is the area we're looking for. So the first line that we're going to fill in using our Plattsburgh is, we can do one of two things, but we'll start this time with a latitude and longitude. New York is located in the northern hemisphere and runs from about 40 and a half degrees north to about 45 degrees north, and then is in the western hemisphere. So it's going to run from about 72 west to about 79 west. Plattsburgh here, if I'm just kind of looking at my numbers, 41, 42, 43, 44, is somewhere between 44 and 45 degrees north. So I'm just going to write that down. So we'll say 44.5 north, just for ease of use. And then around somewhere between 73 and 74 degrees west. Let's say 73.5. Next thing I'm going to do is use the same reference table to try to find kind of what landscape province and area this is in. The way we'll find landscape province and region is we'll go to this page here. So it's page 10, which shows the geographic province and landscape regions in New York State. So Lake Champlain is like kind of right up this area. Plattsburgh is way up here. I'm going to say that's in this area here. So we can see that area is called the Champlain Lowlands. So I'll write that into landscape regions encountered. Champlain Lowlands. And I also see that that's part of a larger province. So the lowlands are part of this larger province, and that's called the St. Lawrence Valley province. So let's write that there, St. Lawrence. The next question asks, what kind of mineral and resources might this particular suspect have encountered? So he's in this area, Champlain Lake, up near Plattsburgh. And the way I'm going to do this is just look for some nearby mineral and energy resources. So I can see in this kind of area, there's WOGTREE I'll just head down here to the key. So WO is wollastonite. There's GT, there's garnet in that area, as well as REE, which just stands for rare earth minerals. I'm just going to grab one of those and add that to my list. The next thing which we'll be looking for will be on our last map, and that map is called the Generalized Surface Bedrock Geology of New York State. It's going to ask for three different things. One is going to be the geologic time period, one is going to be the metamorphic sedimentary or igneous rock, and the last one will be bedrock composition. So I'll look here and see if I can find Plattsburgh, which I see up here. And Plattsburgh is a black little dot that has kind of these diagonal lines running through it. So I'm going to use my key to go find my diagonal lines here. This looks like what I'm looking for. So the all caps letters on this page represent geologic periods. So this rock underneath Plattsburgh formed during the Ordovician period. I'm just going to copy that and add it to my geologic time period here. Then it asks, is it primarily sedimentary, metamorphic, or igneous? And I can just look over here, sedimentary rocks, metamorphosed, and then these two at the bottom are some intensely metamorphosed rocks. This Ordovician rock is dominantly sedimentary origin. So I'm just going to highlight as sedimentary. I'll put a different color. And then bedrock composition type. So all we're going to do here is kind of look next to the Ordovician period, and on the right side, you will see the specific rock types that can be found in that area. So here it's limestone, shales, sandstones, and dolostone. I'll just paste that there. So that's how we'd find one piece of information, one line for each of the suspects. Your job is going to be to do that for each of the different suspects. So that's going to be to fill out the latitude, longitude, landscape province, region, mineral resources, geologic time period, general rock type, and bedrock composition. Good luck.